Hi guys, so this is going to be a quick video about why I converted to Islam. Well, I'm going to make it as fast as I can, inshallah. It's not more than 10 minutes long. So, how I converted to Islam. Well, first of all, I was raised as a Christian, and my mom, she became a reverend while I was in high school. And for the most part, I spent a lot of time in church. I went to Sunday school, I went to church service, I attended youth activities and youth group and everything like that. I was in gospel choir in high school. And for the most part, I didn't really question my faith until I was about 18, and I started questioning it a little bit, but I didn't really think much of it. I was just like, I'm Christian, so I'm going to live a Christian lifestyle. And I didn't really know what that meant, to live a Christian lifestyle. I wanted to find things in the Bible where God told me, or told us, how to live our life. Couldn't find it in the Bible. Of course, there are things in the Bible that tell you how to live your life, but most Christians don't follow it for the most part. And so, so I kind of came across Islam in a strange way. We'll say this. It was, this was in 2008. I was 18 years old. And I had a day out of school. And I was at home watching Oprah. And the guy, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of him, John Quinones, who has that What Would You Do TV show. He was on Oprah and he was talking about his show, and so they showed a clip from his show of a Muslim woman who went to a coffee shop, and the guy refused to serve her because she was Muslim. Of course, both of them were actors. And so I was watching this video and I was like, why do those women wear those scarves? And so I decided to go online. That wasn't the first thing I researched, though. First, I wanted to know where Muslims were from, because I thought that Muslim was a nationality. I didn't know Muslim were people who follow Islam. I didn't even know what Islam was. I just know that because of how the media portrayed Muslims. When I would go to airports to go on trips and stuff, and I would see sisters, I would get terrified. And I was just a teenager, but most Americans were like that around the time, like for a while after 9/11. I'm sure a lot of people are still like that. Sorry, my eye is bothering me. Anyways, so I watched the segment and I went online and looked it up, and someone told me Muslims, because I thought Muslims are from the Middle East. I thought all Muslims were from the Middle East because I thought Muslim was a nationality. And someone told me Muslims are people who follow the religion of Islam. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I started doing a little research about why Muslim women wear their headscarf. And, I read a lot of things and saw a lot of videos about women who said that they wear their hijab for God, or they wear their hijab to protect their beauty because they feel like their beauty belongs to them, only to them, God, and their husband and their family, and they just don't want to display their beauty for the world. And I was like, wow, that's really beautiful to want to be modest and everything. So I started looking in the Bible, let's see if God says anything about that in the Bible. Like, should Christians wear headscarves? And of course, somewhere in Corinthians I found it, and I told my mom about it, and she was like, oh, that's old law. Nobody really follows that anymore. And I thought it was weird, but I decided to wear a scarf anyways. I didn't wear the hijab. What I did was I wore a scarf tied back in a bun. And I did that a couple of days at school, and then I got in trouble because we weren't supposed to wear scarves at school. So I researched Islam more and more and more, and I got really, really into it, to the point where I thought, maybe I do want to be a Muslim. But then I got terrified because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go to hell. if I become a Muslim. And I was really, really, really scared, and I was looking for reasons not to believe in Islam. Like, I found stuff about why Islam's from the devil, astaghfirullah. But I did find things like that, and I believed it briefly just because I was so afraid I was going to go to hell if I became a Muslim. That summer I went to a Christian camp, and it was really I worked there. I wasn't a camper, I worked there as a counselor, and it was really difficult for me to work there because I no longer really believe in Christianity the way I used to believe in it. And so I stayed there and I worked there over the summer, and I would have children, my campers, ask me questions like, how do I get closer to Jesus and God? And I was like, how do you get closer to Jesus and God? Because Jesus is supposed to be God, but Jesus is God's son at the same time. I just couldn't wrap my head around it, and I never really could, and it doesn't make sense if you think about it either way. And so I left the camp, I went away to college, and I could not lose my, I can't think of the word, I guess you could say passion for learning more about Islam. I was still 18 at the time, and I went to my freshman year of college. I stayed in a dorm by myself, and I just studied and studied and studied Islam. I mean, I didn't really know much about it. I knew like the basic things like the 5 pillars, and Muslims are supposed to pray 5 times a day and fast during Ramadan. All of that. And and I also checked the Quran out of the school library, and I read it. And one day I saw a sister at the library, and I talked to her, and I told her I wanted to become a Muslim. And so her and her parents, and this was during Ramadan actually, her and her parents picked me up and took me with them to the masjid during Ramadan. And that's where I took my shahada. I was actually 19 because my birthday was at the beginning of the school year. So I was 19 when I took my shahada, alhamdulillah. I'm 23 years old now. And I have to admit, even since then, I've had a lot of ups and downs with my faith. It's been a struggle, but I'm still here. I'm still a Muslim, by Allah's mercy and by Allah's will. So, my conversion to Islam really wasn't that hard. It was actually very, very natural for me. The only thing I had a hard time with was wearing hijab, because even though I really loved hijab, I had gotten so used to, as a teenager, after I lost weight, I lost a lot of weight in high school. After I lost weight, I got so used to, as a teenager, dressing very, very fashionably and immodestly. And it took me years to realize that you can dress modestly and fashionably at the same time. I didn't, know this. And so that was the only thing. I didn't have a problem, wearing long sleeve shirts and long pants. It was just the scarf itself that I had a hard time with. I don't know why, but it was weird because I would try to find any way to wear my scarf so that I was covered, but it didn't really look like a hijab, if that makes any sense. And eventually I fell in love with the hijab, and I just don't want to go anywhere without it. So, yeah, really becoming a Muslim was very natural for me because, I'm the type of person, I take change very well. I adapt to change very well, and if I realize there's something that needs to be changed, I'll allow it to change, and it will not really affect me too much. So, I mean, of course, becoming a Muslim affected me. It helped me, just. I mean, I wouldn't say I was like very rebellious in the first place. I've always been religious and spiritual, and I've always enjoyed it, but I just didn't know how to, live my life according to what God said. And Christianity doesn't really give you that. So, it's a blessing to be a Muslim. So, I'm just really, really grateful that I've gone this far despite all the struggles I've dealt with. So, that's it. Thanks for watching. Assalamu alaikum.